So I just finished a bit of a deep clean and some reorganization of my workbench, and I thought it'd be a good time to kind of give you all a tour of my workspace and just kind of see how I organize things and whatnot. So please join me, and we'll swing around here and get started. So starting right in on my tool holders here, these are on the right side of my bench. I'm right-handed, so I keep everything that I use the most sort of in the front of the tool holders. These are 3D printed tool holders that I designed. The files are on Thingiverse, and I'll put a link downstairs. I'll put a link down in the description for that. Sort of my philosophy of tools is you want to keep the things you use most often at arm's length. So if you have to get up to go get something, you're going to disturb yourself, and you may not get back to what you needed to. So things I use the most are, my nippers, tweezers, hemostats, scissors, hobby knives, some paint brushes, files, pencil. My little Dremel tool. These are excellent to have. You can do a whole lot of things with these: cutting, grinding, scraping, what have you. Next, we got just a couple of tape dispensers that I picked up at thrift store. I think Salvation Army. Really great for holding the little rolls of masking tape, and I got just some regular clear tape over there. But when you're masking up a model, having it where you can just pull off a strip is without having to use two hands is very helpful. Next, sort of the sticky area, if you will. This is where I keep extra masking tape, my glue, cement, accelerator. This is an idea I had for the accelerator, is to put it in these little dropper bottles. That way you can put just a drop of accelerator where you want it, instead of having to sort of hose the whole area down with a spray bottle. So that's really handy. Sort of down below that, we've got this shelf unit. This is made entirely out of cardboard, copy paper, and glue, like hot glue and just some regular Elmer's glue. So what I keep in here is extra masking tape that I buy in bulk, because it's a lot cheaper that way. Electrical tape. Electrical tape is an unusual item. It can be used for a lot of things, not just wrapping up wires. It has an elasticity to it that is sort of unique in the tape world, and you can use it for a clamp. It's got quite a bit of compressive force when you wrap it around something. So that's comes in really handy. And up top here, we've just some the micro drill bits, extra Dremel bits, sort of project storage for upcoming projects, electronics bits here, wire, magnets, that sort of thing. Then over here, there's some hole punches, zip ties, some extra tweezers, and nothing too special in there. And just some more overflow storage. These ceramic sharpening stones are really handy to have, so you're not having to change out your hobby knife blades so frequently. You can just give it a lick on this thing, and you're good to go for a little while longer. So saves on blades. Couple little items I always keep on the bench are my 1, 2, 3 blocks. Very frequently, these are used as building aids. So a couple of magnets and some hemostats. They make excellent little helping hands. You can use them for holding things down while you're gluing them. This is what I call, it's a perspective cube. It's just some glued up pieces of sheet material, Sintra, I believe in this case, and it's just painted so that there are no two sides alike. I mean, you've got this side that matches this side, and this side that matches this side, but you can only see three sides at a time. So all three sides that are visible are unique. And I use this for perspective when I'm trying to draw out an idea. So I can hold that up there and go, I want it to look at that angle. So yeah, it's a handy thing. I recommend, if you're a maker, I recommend you have something like this around for reference purposes. These drawers here, again, are just sort of catch-all. We've got popsicle sticks, some LEDs, clothespins and other small clamps, Dremel bits, some electrical connectors, that sort of thing. Nothing special there. Up top, again, just sort of some general storage here. Got the tips for my glue, micro drivers. These things get lost in the drawers really easy, so I stuck them up here. Airbrush, I keep my airbrushes just up here out of the way when they're not being used, so I'm not banging into them. But they're also designed these 3D stands for them, and so that also just keeps them up off the table and out of the way. Over in this corner is things that don't get used as often. I mean, I can still reach them without having to get up, but just some tap water, my airbrush thinner, airbrush cleaner. This is just straight up Windex Complete. It's not your regular window Windex. It's the Windex Complete. This stuff will melt 10-year-old acrylic paint. I've had some brushes that had been lost and just uncleaned, and I let them soak in this overnight and was able to clean them up the next day with just some soap and water. Excellent stuff for that. Now we're moving sort of up into the stand-up storage. These are my just some other liquids I don't use as frequently. Some of the paints I have. I keep my sort of my not bulk, what's the word I'm looking for? Batch paints up here. So if I'm doing a larger project, I want to make certain I've got enough paint to do that project a couple of times in case I screw it up. So keep those there and try and keep them labeled best I can, but not always. And then just some extra paints there. My couple of models I've done in the past. So this is sort of the newest addition to the Workbench. It's a 3D printed shelf for my dropper bottle paints. These are the 17 milliliters, 0.57 ounce paints. I mainly use Vallejo. I'll maybe testing some others eventually, but again, link to the files on Thingiverse will be in the description. And then sort of last, just some more paints. Keep some my pigment powders down here, a couple of washes, and some other experiments. This is an experiment in making my own pigments. Obviously that's going to be black, but it's just some nuts and bolts in a solution, in a corrosive solution, and then we'll rinse that and dry it out and see how that goes. I'd be kind of remiss if I didn't talk about, the bench itself. The table and chair I picked up at Salvation Army. It was less than $50 for both of those, but they needed a little work. So once I've got them fixed, They're fantastic. The hobby mat is an Alvin. Got it off Amazon. It's a two-sided, so when you wear one side out, you've got another one to work with, or you've got a clean side and a dirty side, depending on what you're doing. Again, the other little desk table over here, again, it's Amazon. It was a Amazon warehouse. So you can, things that have been returned but are still in functioning order, they'll sell them to you at a discount. And I got this desk, which I believe was more like $120. I got it for like 45. So that was an excellent deal on that. Here's just a quick shot of my 3D print area. There's nothing special here. Keep a filament printer here. I think it's an Ender 3 version 2. And then I've got a resin printer here. This is something I'm diving into a little bit. It's Anycubic. It's one of their entry-level models, but I put it into a cabinet that it's a vent cabinet that vents the air outside. It's a cabinet. I built the cabinet myself out of Sintra, which is expanded PVC, similar to foam core, but a lot tougher. But so maybe doing some more 3D projects later. And just sort of the last but not least here is sort of my overhead storage, where I keep most of my kits, along with some other tools and things. Like there's my Iwata G6. I use that for when I'm finishing furniture or something. It's a larger capacity airbrush, canned goods, primers, clear coats, lubricants, that sort of thing. And then just more kits and things up top. Future projects and past projects. Yeah. So thanks for hanging out. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'm sure I've skipped over something. So just let me know what it is, and I will do my best to answer your questions. So again, thank you very much, and go make something.